1, 2, 3, let's go. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's it. Uh-huh. Uh-huh, uh-huh.
This guy again. Look at him. He thinks he's creative. Play the correct notes or you don't play it at all.
No wonder your grades are so bad. You spend all your time on this stupid noise. You can imagine. I'm disappointed.
Your future is a big zero. You'll be on the street smoking drugs. Just stop it.
This is how creativity meets its death. My story could have ended there. But now, I'm happy that I didn't give up. I remember when I was in high school, there was this music room. Well, not exactly a music room, more like a room to keep broken music instruments. Out of all the broken music instruments, 3 appealed to me the most. Firstly, an old guitar with 2 lower strings missing. An electric piano with most notes not working. And an old African drum. Every evening, I would make sure to go to this room and try and play around with these music instruments. Hardly anyone would be there. But of course, I could understand because it was so dusty and with all the broken instruments piled up on each other. But for me, it was perfect. It was like taking a long walk under the scorching sun and then arriving at your destination and taking a tall glass of fresh water. It was so satisfying. Later, when I completed high school, I decided to pursue a career in music. I knew it was not going to be easy, but it was at this point that I realized how negative my society's attitudes were towards those who follow a creative path. Some relatives called me a gone case. A teacher from my former school called me a failure. He will end up on the streets doing drugs and wasted, he said. Anyway, that didn't stop me. I went to music school, and later I set up a small recording studio in my hometown to work with local musicians to do music and audio production. I was in my element, doing what I loved and earning a living from it. Shortly after I had set up this recording studio, I started to volunteer with a local NGO called the Rural Youth Development Initiative, where I taught young children how to play basic piano. And this brought me a lot of joy. But my turning point came when I met a young man in my hometown called Rudisha. Rudisha, he would always come to my studio and pay me less than half of what I charged for audio production. Please just help me record one verse. I promise I'll pay you when I get the rest of the money, he would say. He was struggling financially, working at local construction sites, building construction sites. And whenever he saved a little, he would spend it at my studio. Just like me, he wanted to be more creative, but he didn't really get the support that he deserved. There are many other young people like Rudisha who go through the same fate. Talents like music are not really seen as meaningful or useful in my community. So the people mostly prefer conventional careers like teaching, among others. One of the causes of these attitudes is actually the lack of knowledge about creative opportunities. For example, many people don't even know that there is a profession called sound engineering. They don't know that there are people called Foley artists, music directors, music therapists. So they just don't see it as a viable opportunity. They go for other careers instead. And then there is the unhealthy religious beliefs also sometimes. For example, if you tell someone that you're a musician in my community, the first question you get is, do you do gospel music? If the answer is no, you're immediately met with disapproval. And this has actually caused a number of challenges. For example, some people end up unemployed because they lose the passion for what they're doing. They do not feel connected and they do not love what they do. And if you lose your job, you lose the income that you've been getting, you plunge into poverty. And this can bring a lot of stress as well, including even mental health challenges. And some people actually resort to drugs as a means out. Knowing all these realities, I wanted to create a space where young people can come and explore and develop their creativity and their creative abilities. That is why I founded ADIKO. ADIKO is basically a word in my local language, Lubra, that means the story. I wanted to change the story of these young people from a story of struggling daily and being laughed at and being ridiculed to a story of hope, personal development, resilience, and growth. At ADIKO, we will specialize in audio production and sound engineering, working with the local and international NGOs, offering them services in audio editing for their documentaries, short films, promotional videos, crowdfunding, and you name it. Through this, we will give opportunity to the young and creative people in my community by providing them all the skills they need to work in audio production. Well, what do they need to learn to work in audio production? You might ask. We have arranged them based on the 8-note solfa scale. The first stage is Do. This is the discovery stage. Here they will learn about different musical instruments, different notes and keys. The next stage is Re. I call this raising the volume. Here they will use what they have learned to create musical compositions, which will also serve as background sound, background music for documentaries, short films, podcasts, promotional videos, among others. This brings us to Me. Here they will learn about multimedia devices, the different multimedia devices used in a recording studio, and how they all work together. And now we come to Fa. I call this the fine-tuning stage. Here they will learn mixing and mastering skills, including Foley art. Foley art is basically the art of creating custom sound effects for movies, documentaries, among others. And now we come to So. This is the problem-solving stage. Imagine a documentary with horrible sound. Here, we will go through how to clean the sound, level it up, and make it professional. And now, we come to La. La stands for language. Here we will learn language synchronization and voiceovers for documentaries, short films, videos, among others. And we have a lot of languages in Uganda. And then we come to T. T stands for travel. Here, they will travel out of the studio, get out, and hunt for new and exciting sounds and record them in both stereo, mono, surround sound. And this will enrich their personal sound library, which will serve as a toolkit in the toolbox. And now this brings us to Do. Now they will be ready to be creative professionally. We provide a strong foundation.
This is the foundation.
We focus on support and encouragement.
Support, encourage.
Important is to express themselves without being laughed at or ridiculed.
Expression.
And we all know creativity is key.
Creativity.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.